Right. Dear Katie, hi. Sorry I didn't get around to this earlier, but I'm doing it now and that's what counts. Well, I hope you're well. I'm sorry, I don't know what to say now that I'm actually here. It's been about a month now. They say time heals all wounds, but I don't think they're right. I'm holding it together, but I'm not going to pretend like I don't miss having an older sister. But I've been looking through lots of old photos recently, and I found one of you when you and Dad came to visit for about a week, and it was from the day that we went to Silver Dollar City, and you got in that shouting match with those two actors from that train ride. And I don't know, I think they were like robbers or bandits or something, right? And oh man, I've got to hand it to them. They were pretty good sports about that whole thing. Those photos bring back lots of happy memories. I've been printing lots of photos recently. I find it nice to be surrounded by lots of memories. You know what I mean? Oh, here's another one. I found a photo of you, me and Danny when we met Santa when we were kids. And it was when we were living in Southwater, so I think I was about 5 or 6. But it was from the day that Danny tried to teach us both how to ride a bike. Oh, he never was the best teacher. No.
Hi, Katie. It's Dan. Sasha's got me doing this thing she's doing. I think the idea is we say our last words to you on video, and that way we get to say we have. I don't know. Look, I think it's a good idea. I don't think it helps things on this end with Mum, you know? Speaking of home, still living there. I'm now in the room that used to be the spare room. So, yeah. Made it my own. Still working. Same job. Still shitty. I know you always told me to kind of get out, but I guess I never really got to. Never got to get onto the interview train again. I don't see that changing anytime soon, to be honest. But yeah. Hadn't spoken to Sasha till I got the voice note for this whole thing. I don't want to say she seemed happy. It's not that simple. I guess what I mean to say is she seemed hopeful. You know, and that's important. Look, I don't mean to sound like a miserable bastard. I guess it's just how I'm dealing with everything. You know? Fuck, damn, things to say. I guess as your older brother, I never really told you to not do drugs or don't drink or smoke, so don't do that. Or if you're doing that, don't do any more of it. Fuck's sake.
Dear Katie, hi, it's Sasha. So I thought that I could just get some ideas off the top of my head, but as you can imagine, that did not go over well. So I've written something that I think gets it down pretty clearly on paper, and so I'll start. How do you count the time? Do seconds pass the way they did before? Or have the clock's hands slowed to a grinding halt and trapped me in this moment without you, the person who still keeps a smile on my face? How do you fill the space? With memories from my reminiscing mind that litter this place I inhabit, surrounded by places and people from a day long since past? How do you weather the storm? How many people can you bring under the umbrella with you and keep sheltered from the rain and the hail and the sleet and the never-ending onslaught that batters down upon you, holding a thin layer of metal in nylon over your head and making yourself as small as you can, as to not feel it throwing you off your feet? How can you smell the flowers? The petals that once held such a sweet aroma, but are now, without you, beginning to turn and twist, and that once gorgeous smell is becoming the dull smell of the air. Reality knocking at my nostrils. How can you count the time?
Dear Katie, hey. I'm going to keep my mouth shut on this one and let someone else talk. Mum heard me recording the last one and she wanted to say some words of her own. She would say them herself, but I don't think she can, so here I go. Hello Katie, it's Mum. I hope you're doing well, Angel. Wherever you are, I'm sure you're doing all right. You're always the one who found a way to have fun, no matter what. Your father and I were talking the other day about how you'd have hated the funeral. I cried. Because I always cry. I can't help it. But I can't help you to think you'd have wanted me to laugh, instead of telling the stories about how you were always there for Sasha and Dan. You would rather have had us tell stories about how you used to chase pigeons when you were a toddler and giggle to yourself. Look, listen, Katie, I don't understand why we're doing this. I don't know what Sasha thinks she can gain from getting us to talk to a camera. I don't think she can accept the fact that you're gone. Maybe that's because she's halfway across the world and I'm here with Mum and Dad and the rest of the family. Maybe I didn't want to have to talk to you after you're gone. It wouldn't cross her mind though, would it? Look, I know she wants to help, I know. I don't know how to tell her she's making things worse. Look, she's not going to see this. I'm not a dick. I know she means well, just... Ugh, fuck.
Dear Katie, I think I've made a mistake. Not in talking to you, of course not. But in dragging Danny into all this the way I've gone about it. I think, if I'm honest, I just miss you. I miss having an older sister that I can go to for advice, and who will tell me when I screw things up, and who will be there when I feel like I'm on top of the world. I don't know how Danny feels about all this. I don't know how Mum and Dad feel either. That's the thing, I haven't really spoken to any of them. I guess I wanted to sit in my happy little bubble and just wait for everything to blow over. I'm sorry about that. You deserve better than that.
Katie, I flew off the handle last time, so I'm sorry for that. Look, I don't want to be doing this forever, so let's see what I can do here. I had 2 younger sisters, and you both balance each other out really well. We both know Sasha's a lot, but you were laid back and easy. I love her, but look, we were a 3, and that 3 is now broken. Sasha wants to imagine it isn't broken, and that you're still here, but that hasn't worked for me. I'll give her this much, it's nice to talk to you again.
Anyway, I've booked flights to go and see everyone. I'm not sure if they'll make this much better, but it feels like I've been standing at a distance for a long time, and I think you would tell me that needs to stop. And I think you'd be right.
Finally went with your ideas, and I handed in my notice. I was watching back the first couple of recordings and thought, fuck it. Will I regret that in 3 weeks? Maybe. But definitely not happily ever after for me or anything, but it's one step closer to sorting things out, you know?
I need you to know, though, that I wasn't trying to ignore you. And that's really important. I wasn't trying to forget that you're gone, because I can never forget that you're gone. I thought that this would help. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, dear Katie,
I miss you.